Hello, Tungsten Miner here. Today I'm going to talk about my greenhouse. So as you can see, I've taken this area that was once behind my house, which you can see I've made some other changes to, and I've made a greenhouse out of it. So wanted to talk a little bit about how I came to do this, and then maybe next time I'll get to talking about what I'm going to use the greenhouse for. So here I started out by lining this whole area with just plain gravel at the bottom, and then I used the same kind of structure that I used internally to make the walls of the house, and that gives me this here. And then drop this back on. I used the chisel mod to make a certain pattern that looked like these nice planks, and then a different pattern that gave me this little top here. And I went and built the wall all the way around to the other side. And then I was trying to think of what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted some kind of glass ceiling in the greenhouse, but I wasn't exactly sure what was going to hold it up or exactly what it would look like. I wound up opting for this just kind of big sheet glass with some bars on the side. I might go back and add some more bars across the top to give it more of a less fantastical sort of appearance. Having giant big sheets of glass is not super realistic. Anyway, what I next did was I figured out how far apart I wanted the posts to be, and I decided I'd have them centered on every other meter. And these are 3 bits wide by 2 bits, and that gives me the ability to center them within the 1 meter, but also to center the glass within the 1 bit there. So I figured out where all the posts went and then just planted each of the posts. I figured out where the glass was going to go, put in the glass, put in the lead, the bar here. And then I decided, once I had the bars up to this level, what was I going to do next? Well, I knew I wanted the greenhouse to stop rising at some point, so I could make a big arch, I could make it just a flat roof, but what I wound up doing was deciding to compromise between the two, and to make this lattice in between. So I just started shifting one over, going up step by step until I got to, I think, 2 meters in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I followed it until it got to this top, which I think is 2 meters tall. That's how I wound up deciding. And then I just brought the bar all the way across and decided that I needed something more sturdy looking than that. And so I added this bar in, which is 2 by 1 across to there, and ran that all the way across. Then I put in the stringers there, and then I had just going across to there. So really what I had was this one piece of metal connecting to this one piece of metal, holding this whole thing up. And that wasn't quite enough either, so I decided to add in one more support. Then that looked kind of weird by itself, and so I added in these two. So having gotten that all the way to the middle here, I actually just took my chisel pattern and turned it around and said, okay, now I'm just going to replicate the whole thing back across this way. And that gave me one span across, and then I added glass on top. I added glass on top here to follow through, and that connected in with the glass that I already had on the sides. So now I had one full arch with all of its glass all the way across, and I just kept repeating that pattern all the way until I got to the back end here. Talk about those doors in a second. So you can see the very, very back surface is just one of the arches. And then I started thinking, okay, well, I'm going to follow the same distances of that pattern here. And so that got me to that, and that got me to that. And then I think I wound up with one kind of in the middle here, and decided to take it out and put it in a doorway instead so that I could get back out into the garden area back here, or the little orchard area back here. And then I was looking for some doors. I wanted to have doors that matched, and so I dug around in DecoCraft until I found these. They're the newest set of doors that have been added, so a little bit of wrought iron there. But of course, as I've previously discovered, the doors don't line up on the middles of blocks as I would like them to do, but instead they line up on the edges of blocks. So I took some of the same material that I'd been using, which is, yeah, it's not showing me the right thing. Anyway, some of that material, nope. But anyway, I grabbed that and I filled in the pieces there. Yeah, there we go. So the material I'm using here is actually from the Chisels and Bits flat colored blocks mod, which is a companion mod to Chisels and Bits. And I got this by just taking some cobblestone in my inventory and a bit of black dye. I can just go demonstrate how this works here. Moved all my crafting stuff upstairs here. There we go. So grab an ink sac, and we grab a block of cobblestone, and then I need my color wheel tool. Where is my color wheel tool? Oh, I think it's in my backpack. There it is. And you right click, and this is my only option because I have no other dye, so it can't blend this black with anything else, and so I wind up with just a plain black block. And that's what I wound up using for all of this material up here. Now let's go fix this guy up, and I'm just going to hit him with a plane, and yeah, looks like that's about right. Yeah, okay. So, all back together again. So all of the material for the lattice work I wanted to look like wrought iron or painted iron. And so I went with that plain black block, and that worked really, really well. And the glass, I did pretty much the same thing. Use your colored block, you have some glass instead of cobblestone. And then I had some light blue dye in my inventory instead. And the kind of blocks that I saw would be a bunch of different options for light blue to almost transparent. And I just picked one of them, which happened to be number 849, as you can see in the title block there. Because it was almost but not quite transparent. It adds just a bit of color, which of course is what glass normally does. Okay, so that gave me all the way back to here, which of course is where the glass ends, because that's where the house ends. And I haven't really decided what I'm going to do to extend this all the way in. My favorite idea at the moment is to build a more conventional solid opaque roof, or an awning kind of thing that comes out from the house here and meets up with the glass there. But these corners being angled as they are makes that a little bit challenging. I'll have to think about how to do that. Anyway, so that's it for the greenhouse itself. And next time I will talk a bit about what I'm doing with agricraft inside the greenhouse. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to know when that next video is ready, hit subscribe. And I will talk to you later.